Okay, I had to move. Trying to remember all this stuff. Mosquitoes are really bad out here, and there's people. Kind of the same thing. Just like the lights in the darkness. So, I had this dream last night, and Sarah, Abraham's wife, came to me and said, she looked in my eyes real deep and said, she's got like cat eyes. Nah. She said, the sword of Abraham. The sword of Abraham. She said it twice. And I looked into all this stuff that I've seen, and it involves Elijah calling down fire from heaven to consume the 50 men and the captain. So it's 51. And it also involves the 2 witnesses that breathe fire upon their enemies and turn water into blood. Well, anyways, kind of scattered about all this information, but Area 51 is brought my attention to Proverbs 6:6. Also, well, a song, what is it? Marilyn Manson. This is the new shit. Oh, you sluggard. Oh, you seeker. Consider the anthem, the ant, and perceive wisdom, They're working at Area 51, I know this much. Boiling eggs. They're working on some really deep witchcraft, Babylonian, and sickness spells. It's all been said before, nothing left to say anymore. 666. Sickness spells. 6 bells. 6 bells. And consider the ants of Egypt and their ways and be wise. Spell of the eyes, kiss the ass. To see eyes. To see us. Well, I found out who the 2 witnesses are. The exact 2. The Bible's in many layers, so I went into reading to find it, and then I was brought into revelations about it. The reading led me to see the Jews and the Gentiles as the 2 witnesses. Now, modern day Jews, the Bible says those who are Jews say they're Jews but are not. That's Israel. Modern day Jews is Hollywood, Holywood cross, feeding off the blood of Christ and things. Roaming the land while you sleep. The Jews, well, these Christians, they hate people like Marilyn Manson and such. So you say you're a Christian and you waste your time hating Jews. The Jews are spirit guides, the greater light to rule the day. and the lesser light to rule the night. So the Jews are the lesser light. It's kind of flipped. They're the greater light and the lesser light. In today's age, I would say, it's both. So, but nobody sees really that much. The Jews are the ones to bring about the new age. Their duty to God and the covenant. They're supposed to be the light of the world, right? And Satan appears as an angel of light. The Gentiles are they're kind of like the instruments of the Jews. I've been told, I've all these names, of myself. Paul, Balder, Ishmael, I don't know, but Paul was, I believe, half Jew. He was also a Pharisee. The only one that was chosen to be redeemed. The Pharisees are the eyes of the Pharaoh. They were the enforcers of the law and things. Now the Jews, they can read the Bible. If you flip it backwards and upside down and you look through the page to the other side, it's written in Baphomet. It's symbols and things. It's just a different language, and it's all the laws of witchcraft. So the two witnesses, there's two Bibles, and there's also two testaments, and the old is about the law and the prophets, and the new is about the welcoming and this age that we're in of forgiveness and hope. But the two witnesses, it takes me back to that grimoire I started writing. I wrote a letter to, it's a different religion, just different names for the same people. I wrote a letter to Freya, so they told me my name is Balder. So that would be my mother, I guess, in that family. But her name was, Freya. So I said, take my hand and walk with me to Eden. And she came to me today. She says, I'm a fallen angel. So, her name's Ariel. Also, Jerusalem. My grandma told me, very cryptically, that I was David, a man after God's own heart. I don't know how you want to look at that, but I already know. But the two witnesses she revealed is she's the Jews and I'm the Gentiles. So today is September 15th. I woke up with all this today. And then I was speaking. I don't. You want to call it tongues? It's the Holy Spirit, and it's not tongues to me anymore. It's sorcery, just reading into. I'm not using it to manipulate people or anything. Oh yeah, in that dream I was actually doing that. I guess that's just. Well, things were placed on me. She gave me the key to her journal, and see, Jews are like record keepers. Journal, Juno. So, what you know, what you know, and this is kind of like a journal right now, so I can go back and look at these, and it's interesting, Grandpa told me to keep a journal. Well, it's funny because it expands your consciousness. People are scared to share inner parts of themselves anyways, so they write it in books and try to lock them up and things. I don't really care. But a lot's gonna start taking place. I don't know the time periods. I don't know how to calculate all that. The Bible's got a lot of codes and things. It was written by the Freemasons. All these new translations and things. They say go by the King James Version. Well, that's the one that goes back to the Baphomet. Well, they all do. Whichever version you want to read. I know they've changed certain things, especially like the death of Ishmael and things. It's kind of irrelevant. To get the gospel, you can read any of these versions, and the scriptures can't be broken. But I don't know. A lot's gonna start taking place. Wintertime. There's something going on this winter. Consider the time frames. I don't know, 3.5 years. 1,260 days. That's around Christmas of 2021. And it says, and that's interesting because it says when the two witnesses die, from Apollyon or Abaddon, they'll lay in the street for 3.5 days. So that's a half week. And people will go around and give gifts to each other, like Christmas. Well, the father or the husband of Freya is Odin. That goes to Zeus, Santa Claus. And she also said Area 51 is a sleigh ride. And this ride is her going back to Eden. And it's a dead end, she says, because this new age is hopeless for them. Just drag as many people to hell as they can. They'll even try to deceive the very elect, if possible. That's what I say. Pray for them. You're Christian. You want to hate people like Marilyn Manson and stuff. You should be praying for him. I don't know. Because you really want him to be your enemy? I don't know. I mean, you really want to be the enemy of Adolf Hitler and just you want the Antichrist to be your enemy. You're wasting your time. The sword I got. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. By your own words, you'll be judged. Your own actions. Try to walk a straight, narrow path. Means it's something we gotta incorporate into our lifestyle to expand our consciousness to actually be ourself. That means you won't be misled. So you can actually choose to do the things that you want to do. So you can actually have a true identity.